Hello guys, today we're going to be drawing the California mountain range, and this one is Mount Morrison in California. So here's a quick look at the picture, reference picture I'm using to draw this. So let's get started. Now I'm going to be using a pencil. This one is a drawing pencil, HB. If you have one, you can get one like this, or just a regular number 2 pencil is fine. I'm also going to be using a Q-tip to blend some shading, but that's near the end. So first we're going to just do the sketch. So first part is I'm going to do the mountain peaks. So in this picture there's about 1, 2 peaks here. So we'll start down here on this side of the edge of the paper, okay? And don't do too high because this is going to be the front peak, and there's going to be another peak behind it. So we need room up here, okay? So let's start about here, and then make your line a little bit crooked. Don't make it, completely straight, right? Because the mountains are have various different shapes in it, and it's like rocky and whatnot. So, and we're going to stop like around here. This is where the peak's going to be, and it's going to come back down. And again, make it a little bit, I don't want to say wavy, but a little bit crooked as you come down. And just watch how I do it. So, see that? I'm not coming completely straight. I'm making it a little bit crooked, my line, to make it look more rocky. Okay, and you can stop like around there. This area will be kind of the foreground, and we will put a little bit of trees around here. So let's actually leave the area for now, because first I want to add the trees and then we can add that, but we'll just stop it like around here. This area will be the foreground. Now behind it, we're going to start here. So this is going to go up, down. So you'll see it's going to go up, down. It's going to be another mountain peak behind this. So I'm going to start around here, about up here. This one's going to be a little bit more variance because this is going to be the top of the peaks here. Okay, and actually it looks like another peak is behind it from the picture. So let's make another line come in a little bit, make another line coming up this way. Okay, it's going to be another peak, and it's going to come down again that way. Okay. Alright. So we'll continue on with this one to come back up. This is going to be a bigger peak in the background. And I'm going to start another line. Actually, no, that's fine. We'll keep it going. We're going to have to add some detail after that, after these lines. Okay, so kind of make it a little bit pointy. Again, I'm making these lines a little bit more crooked. This one is a little bit more crooked than the first one, just based on the picture that I'm using. Okay. It has a little valley of mountains here, so leave that line there. Okay, just make another, keep a space and make another line just kind of going up this way. Okay, and then we'll put another peak here and some more mountain range in the background. So come up around here. Again, just make it bumpy. Okay. And then in the background it has another range, and it's a little bit more flatter, and then it kind of curves up. So to see how I do it. This one is a little bit more flat, and then it curves up, and we got some little more bumps here. Okay. Now we have the shape. Let's add some some detail to this. So we'll start with this back range here, and I'm just going to make a couple of lines like this, kind of like a Y, I guess. Just make it a little bit wiggly. Over here there's a few little lines here, so 1, 2, 3, 4. We'll leave that one for now. Over here there's going to be like some, I'm going to start shading a little bit my line, and we'll blend that in a little bit. So just going to make a few shades here for the crevices in the rock formations. Okay. So these are some crevices here on the side, and then this one is just a kind of a crevice for this other small peak here, and I'll put a few lines there. Okay, and then let's go to these big ones here. Let's start at the center of this. So as I make these, I'm going to make it a little bit kind of like a shade as I do this. Okay, and they're just a bunch of little what do you call it, creases. In the mountain. And this one actually, it has like a little, it's kind of, this area is kind of protruding out. So to make that effect, make another line here. Okay, kind of curves. Down like that. Okay, and then it has some shadow behind it. So like around here, make a little mark for the shadow. Okay, I'm gonna shade this part in. Right here. I'm gonna shade this some shadow. Looks like the sun is shining this way. And this is kind of like coming out. This part is coming out. So that's just some shadow coming here in this part. Okay, and let's continue to put some creases here. You don't have to be exact where I'm doing it, but what I'm trying to do is from the top area, you know, start from there and then kind of have crease lines coming down. Over here there's a little protrusion. So I'm going to make two lines here, kind of make this part coming out a little bit. And over here actually has another small little ground area for the mountain. So it's another piece of the mountain, but it's kind of protruding out, I guess is a better word, protruding. So again, there's a little bit of shadow behind this. So first I'll make the shape of the shadow. And it doesn't have to be exact, but you know, just kind of try to follow my example as best you can. Okay, and then we'll put some small lines here. Oh, and there's some more shadow over here. So make another small line. There's going to be another shadow line here. Just color that in like that for now. Okay. And we'll come back to this area here. There's some little peak shapes here on this side, so it's just kind of like this, like different formations of the rock. It's a lot of different shapes here, but I'm trying to simplify it a little bit because there's a lot of creases and divots, I guess you can call it, everywhere. Okay, so let's do this. So I'm continuing to making lines. Over here, I'm creating some depth. This is kind of in the front, and that's kind of in the back. Okay, so I think that's good enough there. And here, we'll just start putting some more lines everywhere. And again, there's some shadow here, so let's do that. I'm just making little lines here, just trying to follow the reference picture best I can. I think that's good enough. Now in the background here, these ones have some deep cuts coming in here. So here, make a little line coming down. On this edge and this edge, I'm going to put a little bit of darker shadow. And a little bit of shading here. It's light shading on this side. And same thing here, a little bit of shadow here. Now let's do the front mountain area. So this one, we have a few ridges. So we'll start from here, come down a little bit. We're going to make another line. Coming down, don't make it straight, make it a little crooked. Okay, and then we'll bring it back up here. See how I'm making it crooked? Okay, there's another one here. It's kind of like a triangle shape, so we'll give it a little space. Start another line here. And this is going to be like a little triangle, but it's protruding, okay? So we're going to make it look a little bit 3D. So watch me as I do this here. I bring a line down, and we're going to make another line coming down the same direction and parallel to this one. So this line is going to be parallel to this one. Coming down, it's going to taper in, okay? So it's going to just touch, close up right here. And we're just going to make another line coming down this way. Crooked line. Okay? And we're going to make a little crease line here, little crease line here. This one also needs to come down a little bit here. some crease lines. And then it has some little marks. I can't tell from the picture if this is like just shadow or if it's actual like discoloration in the mountain, but it looks like a different color. And we'll put some more wrinkles here in the mountain. A little bit of shadow here. It has another similar triangle shape here. It's also protruding a little bit. Okay, I'll make this a little bit 3D here, like that, make a line coming up, and then go parallel to this line. And again, kind of tapers in, and just we'll put some crease marks in here. Get the shadow there. Oh, there's some more shadow over here actually now that I see some, looking back at the picture, so a little bit of shadow here. Just have it kind of pointing up, it's kind of going up into the creases, like that. Okay. This we put the shadow here already, right? Okay, so I think that's good. Let's see, let's go back to this area. Let's see if we can add any more things here. Okay, now I think that's good. Now here there's some small like hilly foreground area. So you can just kind of put that here in the front. Okay, and then we'll go ahead and bring this down. Put some more crevices in here. Actually, there's a lot of shadow here on the front mountain, so let's put some of that shadow in there. Actually, it's coming from the clouds, it looks like. So in the front, there's some shadow here. So don't shade the whole thing, just the top part of it. This one is pretty well shaded behind it. So we'll go ahead and just shade this area behind it. Also over here, we're going to shade this area here a little bit. So I'm using the side of my pencil. Okay, not like this, like the side. So it's a soft shade. Should have said that earlier, sorry. Okay, so that's good. And in the back, I actually want to add a little bit of shading back here. I'm going to shade this more. There's some shadow here. Let's put some shading here. How about over here on this side? Yeah, we can put some shadows over here. Should just color that whole area in the back in. I'll put a little bit of shading at the top here. Kind of give it some more shape. Okay, I think that should be good. This side has a little bit of shadow now that I'm looking back at the picture. And over here I want to add a little bit of shading. Oh, in the valley part here I didn't add really much. So we'll just put some lines, kind of show a valley. Okay, that should be good. We can add some trees in this area. I'll do a couple to show you. I'm going to use my Q-tip, okay, and I'm going to rub a little bit on this to blend in the shading. So I'm just taking the Q-tip and just rubbing lightly on here. If you don't have a Q-tip, you can use a Kleenex also. Let me show you with the Kleenex. So you can do the same thing if you take a Kleenex and just fold the Kleenex like this, okay? And you kind of rub on it. So you can also do it with the Kleenex. I just like to use a Q-tip because Q-tip's a little bit kind of, you know, a little bit smaller and pointier, so it's easy, a little bit easier to control where you're doing. But you can also use the Kleenex and fold it a little bit like a pen, you know, like a pencil shape, I guess, and then kind of just rub. See that? How it blends it. And then you may need to just go back and darken some of the crevice lines after you blend, because it smudges all the lead. So I'm just going in and kind of darkening some of those areas again. I'm moving a little bit fast, but I'm just following over the lines that I've already drawn, so I'm just darkening those a little bit. And this is some shading here. So I'm not making anything new really, I'm just kind of darkening over existing lines that I already had. Okay, and I'm going to use a Q-tip for the other areas now because I think it'll be a bit faster that way. So I'm sure everybody has Q-tips at home, so go grab a Q-tip and gently rub it. Don't rub it all over the place. Kind of try to keep it within the shadow area, within the shaded area that you had done with your pencil. I'm carrying some of it over in different areas here that I didn't before. So okay, see? So I'm just kind of going over those shadows that I did here. Actually, I'm adding a little bit of shadow here. Okay. And then we got this shadow behind here. Just smudging within that area, not going too far out of it. Some more shadow here. Okay. In the background here, I'm just kind of smudging all this here to blend it in. Okay. And over here, I'm just going to kind of make some smudges in this direction and it's going like this. to make it look like a valley kind of coming through here. Okay. I'm noticing some of the areas look a little bit bare, so I'm just going to add a little bit of shading to those areas. So feel free to kind of put some shading in here and there if you feel like if it looks empty. Okay, and then there's some trees here, so they just kind of look, you know, like kind of like those Christmas trees. I'm just gonna, you know, just make a little scribble here, like that. I'm gonna put a bunch of these little scribbles, but I'm trying to contain the scribble. I'm not going, you know, wild all over the place. I'm trying to keep it in like a tree shape, like that. Okay, I'm going to put just a few of these here. You can add as many as you want because there seems to be quite a few on the reference picture I had, but I'm just going to put a couple in the picture here just because of time, because it already took a while to draw these mountains. There's one big one in the forefront, so I'm just going to make a big one here. And you can make it any kind of shape you want, just kind of similar. Just follow the similar type of design or style that I'm making it. And you can look up, I'll show you the reference picture here of the tree. So this is Mount Morrison. Can you see that? Yeah. And you can look that up if you want to do some better trees than what I'm doing. So that's kind of what it is. Oh, and I want to add some clouds too before I forget. And then here I'm just going to put just some lines here for the terrain on the ground. Nothing, you know, fancy. Again, you can go back and look up Mount Morrison, and if you want to add some more detail, feel free to do that. There's no harm in adding more detail. It's actually a good thing if you can do that, if you have time. Then I'm just going to add a few clouds here, just to make it look good. And just look at the way I'm doing my clouds. I'm not making it like the cartoony way, you know how you make it all with a bunch of curls. I'm just making it kind of flat and a little bit of poofiness here, but for the most part it doesn't look, you know, like a cartoonish style, you know what I mean, with a bunch of curls in it. I'm just kind of putting more of a flatter shape for the clouds. Okay, and I'll put a little bit of shading in there, kind of at the bottom of the clouds. Has a little bit of shadow. Just to show some of those curves in there. But don't make it too curvy, otherwise it won't look real. Okay, and there you go. Mount Morrison, a mountain range in California. Thank you guys.